Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back with the last part of our Market Master series. We show you how to put everything we put together in this series to give yourself a trading edge. So sit back, take some notes, and know how we find winning positions using different tools. First tool we're going to look at here is FinViz. FinViz is a stock screening tool that you can utilize to really learn about all that fundamental, technical, and volume indication that we talked about earlier. So what we're going to do is actually filter out all the stocks that are out there on the market and filter to meet our criteria. First thing I want to do is I typically like to look at U.S. country stocks. These are companies that are in the U.S. If I want to filter down even more, I don't like stocks that are under like $7. I want to do over 7. And then I want to look at the average volume. This goes back to our volume of over 1 million. So what that does is filter down all those stocks to 1,200 to pick from. Then we'll go to fundamentals. Fundamentals is important here because I like to focus on a few things here. All I want to do is see EPS and sales growth. All right. So I want to see sales EPS growth this year positive, and sales growth quarter over quarter positive. That way, if they have debt, at least I know they're growing in sales, so they're justifying having that debt. Now what we're going to do is we have 300 stocks to pick from. Now what we can do is really get into our technical indications. So on the technical side, there's a few things we want to look at here. We want to find opportunities that are buying opportunities. So when it's a buying opportunity, it's as simple as this, guys, is finding something that is close to being oversold. Pick oversold 40 because what this does, this is going to be right before the RSI gets a ping, potentially showing us opportunities that we can trade. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to find something just from a quick 30,000 foot view that looks decent. And I'm going to pick, FTI looks interesting to me here. So what I'm going to do is, and we're also going to look at, we may look at Halo too. Let's look at FTI first. So FTI right here, what we're going to do is I'm going to go to year to day. And this is something you want to be wary of because if you draw out your support line here, let's see, you have a clear support zone that we have already tested at this $18.66 level, and then your next resistance zone is going to be right here at this $20.39. So you're risking, you got to look what you got here. You don't really have much room to run here because this stock doesn't really trade either up or down very aggressively. So this is a stock that it would be a slow mover for you. You might waste your time holding. But just from the support and resistance line technical indications, the RSI, it's a buying opportunity, but it's just not set up to move fairly high. Next, I'm going to look at Halo. All right, Halo Therapeutics, something you always got to be wary of is pharmaceutical companies because one headline can ruin you. So biotech is the same industry there. However, the fundamentals and technicals still kind of apply, but the fact that it is a pharmaceutical company means I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's just me speaking from personal experience. All right, so Katos looks interesting to me here, and then what else do we have? It doesn't happen overnight finding these winning position guys. It takes a lot of patience. I'm going to remember Katos and I'll look one more time so you can kind of see the overall chart down here. Yeah, I'm going to look at Katos because Katos was right here. We have an overall uptrend if we go to the chart. Because I'm looking for buying opportunities, Katos. All right, so, I like this one actually. So when I'm looking at Katos here, remember the first things first. Find the strategy that works for you guys, but all strategies have support and resistance. Right there, I don't know, what is it, $18 stocks, but there's another one at 18 there, and there is a lot of value here at 20. All right, now I'm going to show you why I like this one versus the other one. There is a clear uptrend direction on this, whereas the other one wasn't as sharp to the upside. So for me, this gives me more possibility to see an upward movement. And if I draw this here, if I get my trend line, I'm going to draw it right here roughly. And just understand what I'm doing here. There we go, right here. The reason I like this is we went up, touched again, and we're starting to line up with a possible trend line. You gotta remember, it looks like it's respecting it right now, but I always like it when lines tend to match up with certain support and resistance. Don't always look at trend lines and rely on trend lines. However, use them to give you a market direction up or down, okay? Now, let's look at the RSI MACD. RSI is not quite oversold yet, but it's really close. It doesn't always have to ping there, it's just better if it does. However, what I want to show you is we start to see a little curl in the MACD right here. What that means is the MACD is starting to give us a bullish projection to the upside. Because the last time we curled was right here, and sure enough we ran to the upside, and it was a little bit over $2 a share. And we could be seeing the same thing happening here in the future. If you get in around $18, you're only risking 40 cents to make $1.60. This is where our risk reward ratios come in, because this stock is actually moving over the course of time. And what you can do, if you want to look at a smaller time frame, which we tend to do at the TradeUI team, reference it with a 6-month 4-hour chart. Okay, you had a lot of consolidation here, and remember, stocks move 3 ways: up, down, or sideways. So now the stock's starting to consolidate around this zone. We already had it oversold on the 6-month 4-hour chart, and we have a MACD getting ready to cross. Honestly, if you're swing trading, you really want to focus on the 6-month 4-hour, the 20-day 1-hour, because this will give you an idea of when to get in. This is a good buy right here. Anything around this $18 zone, easily target 20 bucks, and you're only risking, like right now, you're risking 50 cents to make $1.50. That is a perfect example of a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. Therefore, if you were to take this trade 3 times and you were to win 1, you would have made back all the money you would have lost if you would have stopped out at $18. This is a good example of how you can make these trades over the course of your trading career to give yourself a trading edge. The last thing I want to show you guys where you can find some awesome momentum trades is using TradeUI's option flow filtering system. TradeUI, we have a ton of videos out here on how to use TradeUI and all their tools. This is where you get to that next level of using option data, and this is where you can really find momentum trades based on different price actions, different accounts that are getting triggered. There's a lot of good data just on option flow here alone, as well as using ticker flow, insider trading. What I love here is gamma exposure, where you can just type in a random stock. If we go to that stock again, KTOS, and I type in KTOS, what it will do is tell me where the gamma exposure is and tell me where people are buying or selling. In this case, we have a big spike at $20 for gamma exposure. That means that there is a lot of potential movement to that $20 zone. So you always want to be able to check things like that just to justify trades that you're already in, or find new strategies that work for you. Definitely check out our other videos we have out there on the channel, guys. This is the end of this series, and I hope you got a lot of good information out of it and you become a better trader from it. I hope you at least learn one thing from this, because if you at least learn one, you became better than you were before you watched this series. If you enjoy videos like this, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel, guys. We'd love to have you around. Peace.